Hi friends, today we're going to do my less than 10-minute writing exercise that will improve your writing by expanding your vocabulary. I've selected 3 words for us to play around with. We're going to use each one of these words in a sentence so we can better understand them by putting them into context. I will give you general definitions, but I've also included links below to Merriam-Webster's website where you can find the formal definitions and pronunciations. The 3 words I've selected today for us to play around with are wretched, desolate, and stark. Wretched, desolate, and stark. We're just going to have a little fun with this quick exercise so we can pick up some new words in our vocabulary. If you're familiar with these words, just kind of have a little fun by creating or using each word in a sentence. And let's get started with wretched. And wretched is an adjective, a word that describes, and it means distressed or miserable. All right. When the missionaries arrived, they couldn't believe the people were living in such wretched conditions. So you got these missionaries arriving at some place, and the people there are living in like such poor conditions, which is unfortunate. All around the world, there's various places where people are really struggling. And in this sentence, I'm just describing the conditions as wretched, as distressed or miserable conditions. All right, let's use desolate in a sentence. And desolate, it can either be an adjective, a word that describes, or a verb, an action word. All right, and it means deserted or void of life. Okay. We're going to first use it as an adjective. He saw not one bird in the sky in the desolate town. So we're describing the town. We're using as an adjective a desolate town, a void of life, a deserted town. Okay, let's use desolate as a verb. The hurricane destroyed many towns and left them desolated. So it left them lifeless or void of any people, these hurricanes. Let's move on to the last one, which is stark. And stark is an adjective, a word that describes, and it means harsh, blunt, or wholly. Okay. Life in New York City was a stark contrast to where she grew up in small town America. So like a lot of people that move to New York come from small towns and just want life in the big city, the excitement and everything. That was me, including me. I was from a small town in Michigan. But anyway, there's a stark contrast between New York City as where this girl or woman grew up in her small town somewhere in America. I didn't say exactly, but there's a lot of small towns, wonderful small towns. But if you're interested in a city life, that's why she went to New York City, for a big change. Anyway, there's a stark contrast between the two is what I'm making. Anyway, 3 wonderful, interesting words: wretched, desolate, and stark. Use them in a sentence. If you're unfamiliar with these words, make them part of you so they're accessible to you when you write. If you enjoyed this writing exercise, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and happy writing.